What if the key to overcoming stress isn't about avoiding it, but about training your brain to handle it better? Imagine being in the middle of chaos and still feeling calm, focused, and in control. Sounds impossible, right? But here's the truth. Your brain is wired to adapt, and with the right techniques, you can reprogram it to respond to stress in a whole new way. Curious how? What you're about to discover could change how you handle stress forever. Before we dive into how to train your brain, it's essential to understand how stress affects your brain and body in the first place. Stress isn't just an emotional experience, it's a physiological one. When you encounter a stressful situation, your brain releases chemicals like cortisol and adrenaline. These hormones prepare your body to fight or flee from danger. This is your fight or flight response in action. Now, in ancient times, this response was life-saving. If you were being chased by a wild animal or faced with a dangerous situation, these stress hormones would give you the burst of energy you needed to escape. But today, we don't have to worry about being chased by animals, yet our brains are still wired for that kind of stress. Problem is, in modern life, we face stressors that don't have a clear endpoint. It could be work pressures, financial struggles, relationship conflicts, or even the constant bombardment of news and social media. These stressors can feel relentless, leaving you constantly on edge and without an escape. When stress becomes chronic, it starts to have a significant impact on your brain. High levels of cortisol over an extended period can lead to anxiety, depression, and cognitive decline. The hippocampus, the part of your brain responsible for memory and learning, can shrink under prolonged stress. This means not only are you feeling overwhelmed in the moment, but you might also struggle to think clearly, remember things, or make good decisions. The longer the stress lasts, the deeper the damage. Understanding this is crucial because it shows how much control you have over your response to stress. Your brain is incredibly adaptable, and by training it properly, you can change the way it reacts to stress. You don't have to remain trapped in a cycle of panic and overwhelm. There's a way out. Here's the good news. Your brain is incredibly malleable. It's not fixed. This ability to change is called neuroplasticity. It's the brain's capacity to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections. Neuroplasticity means that even as an adult, your brain can develop new ways of responding to stress. This is powerful because it means that you can retrain your brain to handle stress better, even if you've been struggling with it for years. The more you understand this, the more empowering it becomes. When it comes to stress, neuroplasticity gives us hope. With the right techniques, you can rewire your brain to respond differently to stressors. Instead of reacting with panic, anxiety, or frustration, your brain can learn to stay calm, focused, and resilient. Imagine being able to face challenges head-on without feeling overwhelmed or defeated. That's the promise of neuroplasticity. It's not about eliminating stress, but learning how to manage it effectively. You won't be immune to stress, but you'll become far better at handling it without losing your balance. But how do we tap into this incredible potential? It all starts with changing the way you think, feel, and act. The brain doesn't change overnight, but through consistent effort, you can begin to shift the way it responds to stressful situations. You're not stuck in your current state of stress. You can create new patterns and build new ways of coping. Neuroplasticity means that your brain is always evolving, and you have the power to guide that evolution. The key to neuroplasticity is repetition. Just like learning a new skill, whether it's playing the piano or learning a new language, you need to practice. The more you practice the right techniques, the more your brain rewires itself to respond to stress in a healthier way. The power is in your hands to reshape your brain's response to stress, and with time, you'll begin to notice how your brain's wiring evolves to support a calmer, more resilient you. The change may be gradual, but it will be profound. Now that you understand how stress affects your brain and how neuroplasticity works, let's dive into the practical steps you can take to train your brain to overcome stress. One of the most effective ways to train your brain is through mindfulness meditation. Mindfulness is the practice of staying present in the moment and observing your thoughts without judgment. When you're stressed, your mind often spirals, focusing on the worst-case scenarios. Mindfulness helps you break that cycle. By regularly practicing mindfulness meditation, you train your brain to stay calm and centered, even in the face of stress. Studies show that mindfulness meditation can lower cortisol levels, reduce anxiety, and improve emotional regulation. Start with just 5 minutes a day. Sit comfortably, focus on your breath, and notice any thoughts or feelings that arise without getting caught up in them. Over time, you'll build the mental muscle needed to stay grounded in stressful situations. Another technique is cognitive reframing. Cognitive reframing involves changing the way you interpret stressful situations. Instead of viewing a challenge as something overwhelming or impossible, you train your brain to see it as an opportunity to learn and grow. This shift in perspective is incredibly powerful in reducing stress. stress. When you change the way you think about stress, you change the way your brain responds to it. For example, if you're facing a tight deadline at work, instead of thinking, "I'm never going to get this done, I'm going to fail," try thinking, "This is a challenge, but I've handled tough situations before. I can break this down and tackle it step by step." This simple shift can help you feel more in control and less anxious. Breathing exercises are also a simple but powerful technique. Breathing is one of the most effective ways to activate your body's relaxation response and reduce stress. Deep, slow breathing triggers the parasympathetic nervous system, which calms the body and mind. You can practice breathing exercises like the 4-7-8 technique, where you inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7 seconds, and exhale for 8 seconds. Doing this a few times during a stressful moment can help lower your heart rate and ease anxiety. With regular practice, deep breathing becomes an automatic response to stress. Your brain will start to associate slow, deep breaths with calmness, allowing you to handle stressful situations with more ease. Finally, visualization can be an extremely effective technique. Visualization is when you imagine yourself handling a stressful situation with calmness and confidence. The more vividly you imagine yourself staying calm under pressure, the more your brain begins to recognize that response as possible. Visualization helps build new neural pathways that associate stress with a relaxed and focused mindset. For example, if you have a big presentation coming up, take a few minutes each day to visualize yourself giving the presentation confidently. Picture yourself breathing deeply, staying calm, and speaking clearly. This mental rehearsal can help reduce stress and boost your performance. Training your brain to handle stress goes beyond mental techniques. It also involves taking care of your body and mind in other areas of your life. Your lifestyle choices play a huge role in your brain's ability to cope with stress. Getting enough sleep is essential for managing stress. When you're sleep deprived, your brain's ability to regulate emotions is compromised, making it harder to stay calm under pressure. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night to support your brain's resilience to stress. What you eat also affects how your brain functions. A healthy diet rich in whole foods, fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats supports brain health and helps regulate stress. Avoid excessive caffeine and sugar, as they can trigger spikes in cortisol levels. Physical activity is one of the best ways to reduce stress. Exercise releases endorphins, which are natural mood boosters. Even a brisk walk can help lower cortisol levels and improve your overall sense of well-being. Aim to move your body every day, whether through exercise or other physical activities. Building strong, supportive relationships is crucial for stress management. Social connections provide emotional support and help buffer against the negative effects of stress. Make time for friends, family, or community groups that nurture your mental health. Training your brain to overcome stress is a gradual process, but the rewards are worth it. By understanding how stress affects your brain, practicing the right techniques, and making healthier lifestyle choices, you can rewire your brain to handle stress more effectively. Remember, consistency is key. The more you practice these techniques, the more your brain will adapt and strengthen its resilience. So, what are you waiting for? Start today. Take a few minutes each day to practice mindfulness. Reframe your thoughts, breathe deeply, and visualize yourself handling stress with ease. Your brain is capable of incredible change, and with time and dedication, you'll discover a new way of living, one where stress no longer controls you.